This was stunning. I was so blown away. I didn't even pause it anymore because I was like, I need to see where this is going. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome back to the Video Village in case you've been following along for a while. I'm excited to check out a new video from Freeze to Fall. I checked out their video for VHS a couple of months ago and it was so much fun. If you're kind of into like slasher horror, they did a really good job. Now, these kids have been doing such a good job with both the music and the videos and it's been really inspiring to see, and I just think they have a really great future ahead of them. They often get mentioned alongside like The Warning. I guess it's just, because they're young and the music that they make is a little bit similar. But the style is just a bit different, basically, especially if you've seen that video. It's a little bit more hardcore than what I've seen from The Warning yet. So I'm curious to see what they've cooked up with this one, which is called Hypothermia, and from the thumbnail I can see they're set in the snow. So I am ready to go check it out. In case you're new here, my name is Manon the Reeper. I am a filmmaker. I write and direct. I've been working on a very big project for a couple of nonprofits here in the United States. I'm originally from the Netherlands, but I'm currently working here, living here to make movies. And I also, in case you're interested, I write short stories. I write in the sort of horror, sci-fi genres, and I publish those on Patreon. And you can check out my first short story of the year there. And it's basically about someone who is surviving an apocalypse on an abandoned aircraft carrier. So go check it out if that's something you're interested in, and join our Video Village on there. In the meantime, please enjoy this analysis of Freeze to Fall's Hypothermia. Let's go.
I drape the cloth over my eyes. Frostbite and silence haunts me. It led me to this life. Here I'm assessed and rated, strengthened and anemoted. Lawful dance, enchanted, smirks as we lie. They watch me as I die, crushing through the eyes. I'll never breathe again, and everyone's a victim, but everyone's alive. So I step above the edge. Brings to me.
Ooh, very pretty. Love it so far. What a nice song as well. It's a little bit more moody than I expected this time around. The other one, even though it was like the video was really gory and all that kind of stuff, you could just like feel the fun that they had with it. This feels a little bit more serious, but let's go back and take a look at some of these beautiful shots, because we open on this here, a fallen king. And I'm curious to see what the story is going to be. Just wanted to point out as well, there's some nice camera movement in the reveal. So we see one of the girls already walking up to him. I'm assuming it's one of the girls because we don't really see her. But I wanted to point out the beautiful lighting here on this little set. Really nice with the bird cage here with the light behind it, and here as well. And really works. The colors are also very nice. It's all fairly muted. And then they have a very sort of cool toned, almost daylight color light pointing at him. And he really stands out quite a bit. Love the costume. And then this here, again, the lighting is very nice. I really like how moody it is. And I mean, you can kind of tell that it's not like a full-on film set, but they really made it look kind of intriguing. And then we have all of these beautiful shots where we see some close-ups of a hand. They're looking at this book, and someone must have put a lot of time and attention into making this prop here and this book, because it looks like properly like burnt pages. It looks old, and then it has the hypothermia title here, and the lighting is just really nice. So good job on that. Same here as like for these drawings and such, as like someone made all of those for the video. Just a lot of eye to detail, and I love that. And we're seeing actually, I think, the band playing here, so they're paintings of the band, which is really cute. So it's possible that they made those after they already shot all of the footage of the band playing in the woods. And then we go to the actual band in the woods. And I love some of the effects that we're seeing here. Really beautiful color grading. They really amped up a lot of the blues, so the shadows are quite blue. And there's also a lot of warm-toned yellow light as well, and they paid attention to this in the costuming as well, because you can see that she's wearing a yellow shirt underneath and she's wearing blue. So they must have gone into this really already thinking ahead of, okay, what's our color palette gonna be? And I love that. That's really great eye for detail. And you see it in all of these shots. Again, it's like you see the yellow in this fur here. You see it in like the neck of the bass guitar, her shirt, as I mentioned before. And now looking back at this shot, I feel like maybe they're witches or something, maybe doing some sort of incantation with this old book. I'm not sure yet because they haven't revealed much. Then we got this guy on the drums, and I love to see this. They, again, like paid so much attention to what's on screen. Look at those drums. I love how they put the bark and the moss on here, and like some of this like old dried moss. Looks really nice. It really blends into nature, which makes his bright red jacket even more of like a statement, and like it really stands out a lot, especially compared to also what the girls are wearing. So it's an interesting choice. I wonder if maybe there's a narrative, something that might happen to really make him pop. Now, we're seeing all these close-ups of this book and the hands. And again, as I said, as I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen yet, got some beautiful camera movement going on, really nice angles of the band playing. They must have been so cold. It really looks like at some point there's this beautiful shot, this shot here, where you can see just this steam coming from her, and I'm fairly sure we don't get that unless it's really, really cold. So props for them. I even see like her hands are so red. They really must have been very, very cold. So, and just so you understand also, like these shoot days, like we only see like a 4-minute video. They can be very long. It can take very long, multiple takes. And usually for a shoot like this, you will take like half a day, maybe a full day. So you're out there for hours, and that doesn't include like the lighting, like you're waiting for, your people to set up the lights, and then the cameras and everything. So everything takes a long time, and I'm sure that they had some like gloves and such while they were waiting. But still, like when you're actually performing for the camera, it could take a long time, and you're gonna be really miserable and cold. So I do want to point out again, I really love the lighting here. It's so blue, and then the really, really yellow light really stands out. And especially the positioning here gives her this beautiful rim light, and it looks almost a little bit angelic. So absolutely love this shot. It was one of my favorites, and the next one came soon after it as well. This one, where they must have thrown up some snow here to really create that effect where this light, the sun, I think this must be the sun, is refracting on all these little snow crystals. So it's so nice looking, very ethereal, and I love how they really made the most of filming in this environment. And also in terms of like the editing, love the editing. It's sort of slow and languid, and it really feels, and it fits well with the music. I love the angles that they chose. I also really like there's a great variety of angles as well that I notice, especially around the drums, which is really great because it really adds a little bit of dynamicism. So let's keep watching.
Crimson meets porcelain, blood rust on
Wow. Damn. Oh, I'm so impressed. Let's let the credits roll because this was very, very, very cool. I love it. This is such a great example of how a music video can be. Oh, I see. I love it. Great. It's such a great example of how a music video can really be a short film and how you can approach that creatively. And this was stunning. I was so blown away. I didn't even pause it anymore because I was like, I need to see where this is going. And I guess I paused it at the right time previously because it was before we had all this reveal of with all of the special effects and the VFX and all that stuff. So let's go take a look. And I'm just amazed. Wow, if this is where you're starting out, like I cannot wait to see where these guys are gonna go. This is so exciting. First of all, I want to say is I love how willing the band members are to act and play in these music videos because that's not easy. Like being a musician and being an actor is a very different thing and not everyone can do both. But they do such a great job and now we can actually see all of the three costumes in one frame. And as I said, it's like he stands out so much with his red and I wonder what the choice was there. So it is revealed that this woman with the book is somewhat of a witch, and it seems like she is indeed like doing some sort of spell or incantation or something, and all of a sudden they have these bloody marks appearing on their face, which turns out that it's saying lies. A lot happens actually because they almost drown, they get like, then everything's on fire, and so it was a lot to take in. But first and foremost, like their faces are now marked with lies. And that also does remind me a little bit of one of the warning videos, which can't remember 6 Feet Under, I think. I'll mark it with a card here so you can check it out. But they also had like writing appear on the wall. So that reminds me a little bit of that. But it's nice. I couldn't quite follow the lyrics. I mean, I was focusing on the video, but what I was getting sort of is like, as they are basically, it felt like they were fighting this king as well, right? Also, the witch had this thing in front of her eyes. It very much felt like this was some sort of judgment. And perhaps it even feels a little bit political. So I might be way off. I would love for the band at some point to confirm if they can. I would love to do an interview with the band if they're willing and talk about their videos because this is just so impressive. So we see the same thing happening here on her arms as she's writing out the words on the page. Great job on these special effects. It really looks on the special, like the makeup, really looks creepy. So good job. And we have this constant juxtaposition between the really dark scenes with the king and the woman writing the spells or the lies essentially, and the band in the really bright white outside world. This is such a cool moment as well. and quite involved in terms of like what they did to film this. So they must have already had a really strong idea going into this of what they wanted to film, what they needed to get for all these specific elements to really fit together. So here we essentially have a drone shot of the kids overhead where they join in the middle, and it's actually with some VFX, right? It's edited to look as if the witch, I'm just going to refer to her as a witch because I'm not sure what her role is, although she reminds me a little bit of like Judgment, like a tarot card almost. She has a little bit of like a mythological vibe, but she is basically seeing the kids here on her page with all the marks on the page around it. So really, really, really cool effect. Love that. And this is so cool, and you have no idea what all is involved with filming underwater. So I'm sorry, my throat is still sore. I was on set for 2 days earlier this week and my voice is still recovering. I'm not used to speaking loudly and my voice is still not where it normally is. So it's I'm still recovering. So basically, I'm getting the sense that the witch is making them drop. Now, obviously, they're not having these kids drop into this frigid water here in the woods. So they have them emulate as if they're falling, but they're not actually falling. They're just falling to the ground. So that's how we try to mimic that. And then we immediately cut to how they're sinking into the water. Now, I don't know where they filmed this or if they went to a pool, for example. That's something you can do. But filming underwater is quite complicated and it requires logistics and insurance and all sorts of good fun stuff that you wouldn't think about when you're watching this. But and you need cameras that can actually do this. So not only are these people now underwater and swimming and doing all that, you also have your camera person who is underwater as well. So really great job. This looks so good. It looks so professional. Just great job. And I love these moments where they're just sort of floating and sinking with the lies marked on their faces. Really beautiful. Well done. So it looks like the king isn't quite giving up. The kids are still underwater, so we're going to move through that real. And then, yes, the hand. As if they're crawling from out of this lake. They've survived. I love this ring. Really beautiful ring. Also quite stands out. Beautiful shot. Love this. It's such a break, not just in the video, but also in the music too. We have all these beautiful close-ups, and we see that the marks on their faces are now scars, so they're not actively bleeding anymore. It feels like some time has passed. I don't know, maybe they're dead? I don't know. I don't think so, that's kind of what's happening, but this moment is also a great lead up to what's going to happen next. At first, I was like, whoa, that's a very, very bright yellow shot of this arm, and I was like, ooh, that stands out a little bit too much for me. But then it's actually sort of foreshadowing of what's going to happen next, and like she's gonna shoot these fire bolts, and I was like, whoa, did not see that coming. Also wanted to point out, I really love this shot as well. It's like, and the drums here, they're now frozen up. All of the bark and such is gone, and the band is here. They're no longer wearing their furs. Like they're looking sort of as if they actually went into the water. My God, they must have been so cold. And also like, then again, like the flames are so high. I don't know if we are again seeing a little bit of special effects going on, because I would imagine that the snow would melt with this big of a fire right behind them, and also like safety. It's very possible that they have shot this fire separately and then basically put them in the same position they filmed them before the fire where you use the fire shots as a plate behind what's happening in front. It's a little bit complicated. Like I'm trying to like simplify the way of explaining it, but you basically would cut out here the band in your editing, and as if it's a green screen, but you don't need a green screen. You would just use this as a background, which is the other shot. It's the exact same shot, but a different one. And I don't know if that's how they did it. That's, I think, how I would prefer to do it personally, just because I wouldn't want to put them that close to this big of a fire. But who knows? Who knows? So then this woman is starting to throw these fireballs, and my goodness, what an incredible reveal. I was just blown away. Wonderful. So well done. So I'm just going to go and show you frame by frame, which I am doing using the bigger and smaller than buttons, or the comma and period buttons. You can skip a frame ahead and back in YouTube, just so you know. I really love using that. Someone in my comments told me about that trick, and I've been using it ever since, because we get such a good view of what they actually did with the VFX here. And so again, like we have a really bright yellow light that's sitting right beneath her arm and really like highlighting her arm. Also, I think here at this point it's starting to get a little bit darker, so it stands out even more. But I love how like they're fire bolts, but they're sort of minimal. It almost looks more like fireworks. And it's an interesting choice because often people are sort of prone to overdo it on these types of effects, and you very easily get like a whole like Marvel effect type thing, except you'll never get it to look as good as that. So it's better to keep it a little bit more minimalist, which is why it looks so effective here, because we just see the sparks, right? Here she's moving, and see that it came from the back here, which I also thought was such a cool effect, because normally we'll see it come from her hand, right? And that even gives it more of a magical feel, rather than it being some sort of like internal thing. Rather, she is able to like create fire from the environment or something. It's a very cool effect. Absolutely love that. Fantastic job. I love how she was also screaming sort of along with the music, it felt like. And then this reveal, so creepy. So this is why she was wearing that bandage across her eyes, I suppose, is because she's got like a bunch of other eyes that she was hiding underneath. Very creepy. They did a lot of editing on making this look quite so hellish. She's got beautiful teeth, by the way. Anyway. So, yeah, as you can see, there's a lot happening, but I love the black stuff, like the black goo coming from her eyes. Excellent. Very, very horror, and I take back what I said earlier, like that this was more serious than the previous one. I love the horror reveal that we got in this. So then this fiend or ghoul or whatever that she is, she actually falls into the water too. And she sings with the lies, and that's it. Wow. I am just completely blown away. Congratulations to everyone involved. This was so beautiful. I'm so impressed. I mean, you can tell from the amount of people involved that it was a pretty involved shoot, and just absolutely love it. I saw also this here. They got some funding from Factor and the Canadian government, and it's so wonderful that this type of support's available from the Canadian organizations, and it's why so many movies and TV shows get filmed there, and why artists and musicians and filmmakers are able to really succeed and fly there. So yeah, that was great. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this video. I'd love to hear what you think. Yeah, my eye is definitely trained on these guys. I I am so excited to follow along their career and keep an eye on their videos. And I'm sure we'll be back soon, and maybe we can get them for an interview at some point. That'd be great. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you're willing to join the conversation. You can join us on Discord. And a like always helps on the videos to make sure we reach more people. And you can find me on Patreon, where, as I mentioned before, I share short stories, I share behind the scenes to my own work, as well as some stuff, some other like exclusive videos you get on there. So it's all good fun. Anyway, I will see you on the next one. Peace.